Okay, today we are going to do, I believe, 4 examples today, and you'll have an assignment at the end of this video. So we're going to do more, decimals to fractions. Alright, so let's say for the first example, we have 7.122 repeating, where the 2's are repeating forever and ever. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on the previous video, where we let x equal 7.122 repeating. Okay? So now the trick for this one is the first step is to get your decimal in front of the repeating part. So this is what I mean by that. We're going to move this decimal one space in order to get in front of the repeating decimal part. So in order to do that, we need to multiply both sides by 10 to move the decimal one time. So we're going to get 10x equal to 71.22 repeating. Now, if we were to take the one that's in blue and the one that's in yellow down here and subtract them from each other, the numbers after the decimal wouldn't line up. So we have to do something a little bit different. We have to do one more step. The second step is to get your decimal behind the repeating part. So like this. We are now going to go back up to the one that's in blue, and we are going to move it not once, not twice, but 3 times in order to get behind it. So I don't need to multiply by 10, not 100, but 1,000. So multiply both sides by 1,000. So we're going to have 1,000x is equal to 7122.22 repeating forever and ever. Okay, now we can take this one right here and this one right here, and we can subtract them from each other. So what would we have? We would have 1,000x, which is equal to 7122.22 repeating, and subtract 10x from it, which is 71.22 repeating. Now, the part after the decimal does in fact cancel out. And now all we have is 7,122 minus 71. Okay, well, 1 from 2 is 1. Can't take away from here, so we got to borrow. 7 to 12 is 5. Bring down the 0, bring down the 7. And it's equal to 990x. Divide by 990 on both sides, and you get x is equal to 7,051 divided by 990. And that's it. That's how you do the first one. Now, don't forget about step 1 and step 2, because we're going to need to be able to do both of those on every single problem. So there's one. Let's do another one. Let's say I have 0.5271, where the 71 is repeating over and over and over and over again. So I'll do the same thing like we did before. we're going to let x equal 0.5271, where the 71 is repeating. Remember, the first step is to get in front of the repeating part, so I don't need to move it once, but twice. So that means I need to multiply both sides by 100. And my decimal would be right here. Now, step 2 is to not get in front of the decimal or in front of the repeating part, but behind the repeating part. So I move it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So that's 4 times. So I don't need to multiply by 10, not 100, not 1,000, but 10,000. And you get 5271.71 repeating forever and ever. Now we're going to take this one and subtract this one from it. And we would get something that looks like this. 10,000 x, which is equal to 5271.71 repeating. And we're going to subtract 100x from it, which is 52.71 repeating. Now whenever we do this, remember that the part after the decimal lines up. They're the same thing, so they cancel out. Now we got to do subtraction. That goes to 11, that goes to 6. So 5 to 11 is 9. 5 to 6 is 1. 2 comes down, the 5 comes down. And 10,000 minus $100 is 9,900 x. Divide by 9,900 on both sides. And you get x is equal to 5219 over 9900. Now, yes, you can reduce that, but I'm not worried about it. Leave it just like that, and you'll be good to go. Okay, that's example 2. All right, let's do another one. Example 3. Say I have 23.26, where the 6 is the only part that's repeating. So, just like the before, we're going to let x equal 23.26, where the 6 is repeating. Only the 6. So I need to move my decimal one time in order to get in front of the repeating decimal part. So that would be 10x is equal to 232.6 repeating. Okay, now I need to get behind the repeating part. So not once, but twice. So that means I need to multiply by 100 on both sides. And I get 2326.6 repeating. Now I'm going to take both of these and subtract them from each other. So I'm going to have 100x, which is equal to 6.6 repeating. And we're going to subtract 10x from it, which is equal to 236.6 repeating. And in doing so, you should notice by now that the repeating decimal part cancels. Now we just got to do our basic subtraction. That's a 0. That becomes a 12. That becomes a 2. 3 to 12 is 9. 2 from 2 is 0. 2 comes down, and it equals 90x over here. Oh, I messed up somewhere. Hopefully you caught it earlier too. The 6 is supposed to be a 2. makes that a 4. Whew. Glad we got that mistake. Divide by 90 on both sides, and you get x is equal to 2094 over 90. All right, one more, and we'll call it good. Okay, one more. Let's say we have 1.59110, where the 10 at the very end is the only part that's repeating. So we're going to let x equal 1.59110. The 10 is repeating. Okay, now remember the first part is to get in front of the repeating decimal part. So I need to move 1, 2, 3. 3 times. So that's 1000x equals 1591.10 repeating. Okay. Go back to the original one. Now you got to get behind the repeating decimal part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 100,000 on both sides. Just like that. Now just like before, we're going to take this equation and this equation, subtract them from each other. And we're going to get 100,000x, which is equal to 159,110.10 repeating forever and ever. And we're going to subtract the 1000x away from it, which is 1591.10 repeating. Now when we do this, hopefully you guys are catching on by now. This part cancels out, and we just do our basic subtraction. Okay, so that becomes a 10, that becomes a 0. 1 to 10 is 9. 9 can't be taken away from 0, so make that a 10, make that a 0. 9 to 10 is 1. 5 can't be taken away from 0, that becomes a 10, becomes an 8. 5 to 10 is 5. 1 to 8 is 7. 5, 1. Okay, now 100,000 minus 1,000 is 99,000. Our last step, divide by 99,000. And you get x is equal to 157,519 over 99,000. All done. Hopefully this video helps you out on this assignment. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or message on Google Classroom, whichever floats your boat. Anyways, hope you all are staying safe.